In the previous series of videos, we gradually built the sign-up form using reactive form features of Angular. In any front-end application, once the user signs up, after login, there should be an option to edit the details provided during sign-up. We call this page as Update Profile. In this video, I will demonstrate how Update Profile page can be implemented using Reactive Form. I'm going to demonstrate this by making changes in the sign-up form instead of rebuilding the entire form again. However, in an actual project, Update Profile should be implemented as a separate component, and then we can copy and paste relevant code from sign-up form into Update Profile implementation. Necessary changes in the code is already implemented. I will walk through the changes now. In app.component.ts, this is how the user property is defined. Notice that it is not assigned to any object. Notice the inclusion of exclamation mark after user property. I will explain about this later in this video. In the ng-on-init function, a backend call should be made to get the logged in user data from a backend service. As we don't have a backend service, it can be assumed that the backend call is made in this commented line. In the next line, I am assuming that this is the user object returned by the backend call, which is assigned to the user property. In the next line, setValue function is called in the form group object, which helps to pre-populate with the logged in user data. In the previous video, we discussed in detail about how setValue function works. The next line is commented out. We included this line in the previous video. Commenting this line ensures that select status is not selected in the status dropdown list. When we implemented template-driven form, we know how object comparison works in JavaScript and how we used select control value accessor directive to pre-select the drop-down list. If you are not familiar with select control value accessor, then refer the relevant video under the template-driven form section of this course. The approach used in template-driven form is used here again. In app.component.html, I have included the compare with attribute in the select element pointing to compare status function. In the component class, the compare status function is included and it has the same logic whatever we included when implementing template-driven form, which I have just copied and pasted here. To make the user interface relevant to Update Profile page, the heading is changed to Update Profile. I am scrolling down. For the submit button, the value is changed to save. This ensures relevant user interface changes are done for Update Profile. Now coming back to component class, let me explain about the exclamation mark included. This operator in TypeScript is called as non-null assertion operator. If I remove this operator, we can see that it results in a compilation error. The TypeScript compiler strictly verifies if the properties are defined with appropriate data. Here we have not assigned this property with any value, due to which it results in the compilation error. By including the non-null assertion operator, we are communicating the compiler that this property will be surely assigned with value before being used. Hope this explanation helps to understand the reason why exclamation character is included. This completes the walkthrough of all the changes required for update profile implementation. After these changes, we can see that all the form fields are pre-populated based on the user object data. I am not going to verify all the validations as similar changes were done in the previous video and a detailed testing was already done. The main difference here is the inclusion of compare with attribute to pre-select the respective option in the drop-down list. We can see the status drop-down list pre-selected based on the status ID included in the user object. Once the page is loaded, the user can change the data in the form and click on the Save button to submit the updated form data to the backend. As I make changes in the form data, we can see the respective data getting updated. Hope this demonstration helps to understand how an update page can be implemented using Reactive Form. Let me summarize the list of changes to be done. In the HTML template, change the page heading. In the select element, include the compare with definition. The submit button value should be changed as save. In the component class, define the user property like this, then assign the user property in the ng-on-init function. In the ng-on-init function, comment the code that sets the select status element value as empty string. Include the compare status function by copying and pasting it from the template-driven form implementation. After these changes, save and check if it works as expected.